Samoa is a group of islands in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. These volcanic islands, ringed by coral reefs and covered in lush rainforests, represent an important center of Polynesian culture. For thousands of years, this has been a homeland, a cradle of traditions that have spread across the vast blue expanse of the Pacific. Historians and archaeologists believe that Samoa was first settled about 3,500 years ago by voyagers from Southeast Asia, part of the Great Lapita Migration. These early people came by canoe, navigating by the stars, the currents, and the flight of birds. They were skilled sailors and brave explorers, carrying with them the seeds of a new society. These early settlers brought plants like taro, yam, and animals such as pigs and chickens, establishing a new way of life in these fertile islands. They organized themselves into villages, building communities based on cooperation and shared resources. They developed a unique language, sophisticated social structures, and a rich oral tradition of storytelling, genealogy, and mythology. Their art, their music, and their dances became fundamental expressions of their identity, passed down through countless generations. This ancient heritage is not just history. It is a living force that continues to shape the identity of the Samoan people today, connecting them directly to their intrepid ancestors who first crossed the ocean. Over the centuries, Samoa became a cultural hub, a point from which other parts of Polynesia, including Hawaii and New Zealand, were later settled. The islands were not isolated but were part of a dynamic network of trade, travel, and kinship that connected archipelagos across the Pacific. This historical significance gives Samoa a special status as a cornerstone of Polynesian civilization. Understanding Samoa is to understand a key chapter in the story of human migration and adaptation, a testament to resilience and ingenuity. The islands are more than just a beautiful destination. They are a repository of deep cultural memory. The story of Samoa is one of continuity and change. It is a timeline that stretches from the first footprints on its sandy shores to its complex present as a modern nation navigating global challenges. It involves the preservation of ancient customs alongside the adoption of new ideas, the struggle for self-determination against colonial powers, and the enduring strength of family and community. This essay will trace that journey, exploring the key events and cultural elements that define Samoa. The name Samoa itself is woven into the fabric of the island's history and mythology, its precise origin a subject of local lore and linguistic study. The word is composed of two parts: sa, sacred, sa, forbidden, moa, center, moa, bird, moa, family name. One popular interpretation is that Samoa means the sacred center of the universe, reflecting a deep spiritual connection to homeland and a central role in the Polynesian world. Another traditional story tells that Tagaloa's son was named Moa, Samoa, sacred to Moa, designating the islands as his special domain. These origin stories are vital parts of the oral tradition, carrying identity, history, and the sacred relationship between people, ancestors, and environment. Samoa today is a small nation in terms of landmass, but it is culturally vast and demographically widespread. The total land area of the Samoan archipelago is approximately 3,030 square kilometers, divided between two separate political entities. The larger western part is the independent state of Samoa, which covers about 2,842 square kilometers. The smaller eastern part is American Samoa, an unincorporated territory of the United States, with about 190 square kilometers. This 19th century political division splits the archipelago despite shared culture, language, and family ties. The population of the independent state of Samoa is approximately 205,000 people, with most living on Upolu and Savaii. The capital, Apia, on Upolu, is the political and economic hub. In American Samoa, the population is around 49,000, most residing on the island of Tutuila. Beyond the islands, a significant Samoan diaspora exists in New Zealand, Australia, and the United States. Overseas, Samoans maintain strong connections, sending remittances that support families and contribute substantially to the local economy. The overwhelming majority in both Samoa and American Samoa is of ethnic Samoan descent. This shared ethnicity underpins a common identity that transcends the border. Samoans share the same language, a Polynesian tongue central to culture and daily life. There are small minority groups, including people of European, Chinese, and other Pacific Islander heritage. English is widely spoken and is the language of business, government, and secondary education, while Samoan remains the language of the heart and the home. Ethnic homogeneity has preserved core cultural tenets, yet regional differences in dialect and custom exist between villages and islands. Different political histories shape distinct experiences. Those in the independent states celebrate sovereignty. Those in the American territory navigate a unique relationship with the United States. Despite differences, kinship and tradition keep the sense of one people alive across the archipelago. Land and lineage remain inextricably linked, a living identity mapped onto place. Samoa is small in size, but vast in cultural reach, its people connected across seas, nations, and generations. The Samoan way, Fa'a Samoa, grounds daily life, politics, and family. It emphasizes respect, cooperation, and community service. At its heart is the Aiga, the extended family, led by a Matai, or chief. The Matai safeguards welfare, manages land and resources, and represents the Aiga in the Fono. Children learn Fa'aloalo, respect, from a young age. The economy blends subsistence agriculture with modern development. Families cultivate taro, breadfruit, bananas, and coconuts, while fishing remains vital for protein. Village rhythm follows church, family obligations, and agricultural cycles. Markets link daily work to community sustenance through produce, fish, and handicrafts. Urban centers like Apia diversify into administration, retail, education, and tourism, drawn by beaches, volcanic landscapes, and authentic culture. Remittances from New Zealand, Australia, and the United States are a critical lifeline, funding education, healthcare, weddings, and funerals. Christianity, introduced in the 19th century, was woven into Fa'a Samoa and is practiced with devotion. The village church often anchors community life. Sunday is for worship, rest, and family feasts, as most businesses close. The motto, Fa'avai I Le Atua Samoa, Samoa is founded on God, captures faith coexisting with Fa'a Samoa in a resilient social fabric. Community, kinship, and service remain the compass of daily life. Documented European contact began in 1722 when Dutch explorer Jacob Roggeveen sighted the archipelago. Sustained interaction in the 19th century brought whalers, traders, and Christian missionaries, along with tools, textiles, and devastating diseases like measles and influenza. Missionaries translated the Bible and established schools. Belief and practice syncretized within Fa'a Samoa. By mid-century, Germany, Great Britain, and the United States vied for influence, backing rival factions and fueling civil conflict. A major clash was averted when the 1889 Apia cyclone wrecked fleets, forcing pause and negotiation. In 1899, without consulting Samoans, the powers partitioned the islands, the East to the United States as American Samoa, the West to Germany as German Samoa. Colonial development expanded copra, cacao, and rubber, often with indentured labor under firm authority. New Zealand seized German Samoa in 1914. Later, a League of Nations mandate formalized its rule. A failed quarantine led to a catastrophic influenza pandemic, fueling the nonviolent Mau movement, Samoa Mo Samoa. On December 28, 1929, colonial police fired on peaceful demonstrators, killing at least 9, including High Chief Tupua Tamasisi Lealofi III. After sustained pressure, Western Samoa became independent on January 1, 1962, the first Pacific nation of the 20th century to do so. In 1997, it reclaimed its historical identity as the independent state of Samoa. The partition's legacy remains. Samoa is a parliamentary democracy, American Samoa a U.S. territory, yet kinship, language, and culture bind the two. Facing climate change, economic constraints, and opportunities in tourism, agriculture, fishing, aid, and enterprise, Samoa looks forward with resilience.